All right. Namaste, friends. Namaste. We're just coming off a very mystical rain here in Puerto. I don't know if you can still see it. But it was interesting because I was like, I'm going to do a live. It's Monday. And then it started crashing down rain. And then, got a few things done. And then it stopped and it was time to come on here today and talk to you guys about a few things. I wanted to share with you a little bit about my experience in Mexico City this weekend. And it was so amazing to have this opportunity to go up there and teach a Rocket Day workshop. And what was so interesting to me is that this line from It's Yoga, this Larry line about relax and breathe and go with the flow. And the whole weekend was about that. It was like the sweetest thing to relax into it. Like, I didn't plan the workshop. I didn't do any part of it. I just was responsible for showing up. And in all of my many years of being a rocket facilitator and teaching, it's always more than just showing up. It's always like a little bit of the back end, the business and things. And it was just so sweet to be so held and just to kind of like relax and breathe and go with the flow. And that's exactly what happened. Everything was so beautiful from that perspective. And it got me to thinking of yoga off the mat, because on the mat, the mantra is relax and breathe, right? Go with the flow. Just follow the pose, one pose to the next. And off the mat, it's like that too. It's just one step to the next step, right? And what happened was I ran into these women that I had met earlier in the week, and it was just so interesting how we came back together and we had this amazing conversation. The flight ended up being delayed so that we could probably continue the conversation. I mean, it was just so intricately designed. And what it reminds me of so much is this idea that when we surrender into spirit, like when we say, look, I don't know what's going to happen today, right? Maybe you have your plans for the day, you have your appointments, things like that, but really you don't know what the day is for. There are things that are going to happen that you didn't see that were going to come towards you that day. Flights are going to get delayed if you're traveling. My daughter had a weird eye thing going on today, and that was something. But every day there's something that's going to happen that you just didn't see coming. And when you relax and when you just take a deep breath and you go with the flow, something really interesting happens. It's like a force takes over, if you will. It's like this energy that knows exactly how everything wants to be placed for maximal learning for everybody, for everyone to get to their happiness as fast as possible, is going to organize itself. And Albert Einstein said this, that when it all comes down to whether you believe that the universe is friendly or unfriendly. If you believe that the universe is friendly, and you relax and breathe, you go with the flow, you surrender, you wake up in the day, you give it to God, you give it to whatever you understand to be love or higher power, amazing things start to happen. A Course in Miracles teaches us that miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. So when we are in that energy of love, when we're just like, all right, we're going to go with this, miracles are going to occur. Like, stuff is going to happen that, you didn't even know were going to happen. It's going to be so mystical and so magical. And it was so fun to really kind of dive deep into it this weekend, of really surrendering. I was going on an airplane. It was delayed. I was leaving my family for the first time, my 2 little children. And it was only like 48 hours, not even that I was going to be gone. But it was such a beautiful opportunity to witness the universe at work within my life. And I think one of my favorite lessons from A Course in Miracles, one of my favorite principles, is that we think our lives are little. We've dropped from the magnitude of it all, that we're a part of this great mystery and that we're a part of this incredible story, right? The universe is the handwriting of God, and we're a part of that. But on some level, we just decide that our lives are little. We start listening more to our inner critic voice. We stop listening to our inner teacher. We stop listening to our intuition, the part of us that's really connected to spirit. And we start to think that we have the answers. And we don't. I just want to say that. Like, we really just don't have the answers. And if any of this is making sense or resonating, I see some of you guys are on. Hi, friends. If you want to comment or question or say anything about what I'm speaking to, you're so welcome, and I'll try and attend to it. But really, in summary, this is about relax and breathe and go with the flow. Ask for guidance in every move you make and allow it to come through you. And it's really important that we surrender to the bigger picture. I think that that's one of the things I learned the most. It was like I walked into this beautiful workshop. Thank you, Andrea. I walked into this amazing workshop on Saturday, and it was so much about the quality of the students there. And I find it so interesting that when I'm out in the world, and I love to teach yoga, it's such a privilege, and to hear from students, like, they're like, always like, what is this lady talking about? Like, oh my God. Because It's Yoga International has this way of really weaving together this on the mat practice that is so popular right now. Yoga is just booming, booming, booming. Everybody loves yoga. Some people are afraid to start yoga, and if that's you, then, check us out. We've got lots of beginner type opportunities for you. But what people learn with It's Yoga is this real foundation of where to put your hands and how that relates to your shoulders, and where you put your feet, and how that relates to your hips, and how to breathe, and how to move and breathe at the same time, and how to pull in your inner energy. There's just these amazing tools that we use with It's Yoga International. But what's also really powerful is this off-the-mat component that we weave into the practice. This idea of like tapping into this inner flow that you have when you're moving and breathing on your mat, and learning, because it's a practice off your mat too, learning how to surrender into that, learning how to relax and breathe and go with the flow, even when things aren't going the way you want them to go, or they go totally crazy, or they're beautiful. Likely, if they're beautiful, you're in that state of relaxing into it. I'm just so turned on by this, you guys. I've been practicing these principles for so long, and to see them show up again and again, and even more masterfully, like now that my awareness is heightened around how miracles occur naturally as expressions of love, now that I'm really like tuning into that, I'm just watching literally this entire like tapestry unfold in my life, in my personal life and in my professional life. And I'm so grateful. And I just wanted to share that with you guys this Monday, to relax and breathe this week, go with the flow, try and see beyond what's happening. If something's happening in your life that you're not sure about, you're uncomfortable about, take a deep breath, see if you can just look for the deeper meaning in it. Look for the deeper meaning and relax and breathe and go with the flow. It's a quick one today. I got my babies downstairs. Lots of love. Thanks, Andrea. Yeah, let's just relax and breathe, go with the flow, watch the miracles appear. When you step out of your own way, this is what one of the women in Mexico City said. She was like, I love that. Just step out of your own way. And it's so true. It's like, just step out of the way, back into love, just back into, look, this is for a bigger purpose. Spirit's got my back. It's all going to be great. What would you have me do? What would you have me say? To whom? Where would you have me go? It really wants to get to that level. The deeper and deeper we go into this practice of yoga on and off the mat, so deep that it becomes very little separation between you and your intuition, you and everybody else. And when there's a separation with somebody else, it's likely that there's been some kind of barrier to love's presence. Somebody showed you something, somebody triggered something in you, and it shows you exactly where your limit is. And that's the moment where you ask for more. You just ask for more because you want more, right? You want to be more loving. You want to be more filled up with the Spirit. You want to be more connected to everybody and everything. And this is how we do it. We do it by getting out of the way and letting it happen. Larry used to say that all the time. We don't do yoga, the yoga does us. And it's so true. We show up, we relax, we breathe, we let go, and we let the whole thing unwind. And that's really the practice of yoga on and off the mat. So lots of love to all of you guys. Hit me up if you have any questions or comments. I'll give you another beach look. Relax and breathe. Go with the flow. Namaste.